I want to talk about Chanukah and light. And in the Jewish mystical tradition of Kabbalah, there's a saying that the greatest revelation of godliness is the light that emerges from darkness. The greatest revelation of godliness is the light that emerges from darkness. Our sages were teaching us that our task as human beings is to uncover, to reveal those sparks of light, of love, of kindness that reside in each and every human being. It's a beautiful story told about a young boy meeting the great mystic and civil rights leader, Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel. And it's Rosh Hashanah, during the ritual of Duchening. And this is a ceremony with the Kohanim, the men of priestly descent, and now the women, recite the traditional priestly blessing upon the congregation. And by tradition, it's forbidden to look at the Kohanim because at that moment, the Shekhinah, the presence of God in this world, descends into the congregation. And of course, like any child, this boy named Levi, he steals a glance at the Kohanim while the ceremony unfolded. He then turns to his father and says, "Papa, you told me that I was forbidden to look because I would see God. I was forbidden to look at the Kohanim. But instead, all I see are men. Where is God?" And the boy's father directed his son to Rabbi Heschel, who sat in thought nearby at the service. "Where is God?" asked Levi to Rabbi Heschel. And Rabbi Heschel responds, "Levi, if you want to see God, you need to look in the mirror. But you have to look beyond your face. You have to look deep within yourself. And if you do, you will see that there is nitzotz, a spark of God's kedusha, God's holy, that is there. And when you look at your father and your mother and your sisters, when you look at all the people you encounter both within the congregation, throughout the entire world, each one is created, B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God, and there's a spark of holiness present in each and single one of them." And then Rabbi Heschel added something even more beautiful. He says, how honestly, "The problem, Levi, is that most people forget this truth. And the spark of God that is there remains nistar, forgotten and hidden. Your task, Levi, is to uncover those sparks that are hidden, and then to take those sparks and make them revealed in the world. You have to remind people that they are created in the image of God." And so our world, our own lives, they're so full of doubt, of uncertainty, instability. And when this monopoly of darkness overwhelms us, we have to ask ourselves, am I safe? Am I loved? Am I needed? There's a beautiful Talmudic story in Midrash about Adam and Eve first witnessing the sun go down for the first time, and they're in a panic. They're panic-stricken, thinking that this new and intense darkness would last forever. A sealed decree of their death, and so they spend that entire night weeping. And what if white night never ends, they ask? What if meaningless and loneliness are simply all there is? And finally, dawn breaks, and Adam and Eve realize that this is simply the way of the world, that day follows night, and night follows day. Judaism does not ask us to ignore the darkness, this sense of doom and despair that we all human beings experience at some point in our lives. Rather, we're challenged to face the gamut of these emotions squarely, with radical honesty, and then, with the same conviction, to actually defy them. So in the Torah, God takes Abraham outside one evening, and pointing to the star-filled heavens, blesses Abraham with the promise of a progeny so numerous beyond counting. "Look towards the heaven," God says, "and count the stars if you are able to count them. So shall your offspring be." The great Hasidic master, the Sfat Emet, Rav Yehuda Leib, Alter of Ger, the Ger Rebbe, he dives into the ground meaning of God's promise. To be a Jew, he teaches, is to be like a star bringing light into those places, those moments of darkness, of despair. But stars do not eliminate darkness, he writes. They only mitigate it. This imagery is at the core of Chanukah. Winter is looming, days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer. The moon is all but completely disappeared, and all around us is darkness. And so what do? We light a small fire. On the first night of Chanukah, one little candle. On the second night, 2 little candles. And so on and so forth for 8 consecutive nights. Our menorah never brings an end to darkness. It just softens its effect. In the Book of Proverbs, it's written, the soul of man is the lamp of God. The soul of man is the lamp of God. That we all have the potential to be these nitzots, these sparks of light. That no matter how fleeting, how precarious this light might be, it can help us to restore our hopes, help us to restore our dreams. Happy Chanukah.